today in Chicago. Now, I don't know how you feel, but I am crazy about my pets, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing in this world that is too good for my dog. Well, apparently a lot of other folks feel exactly the same way. So it is that a lot of businesses these days cater to pets and their owners. Consider, for example, famous Fido's Doggy Deli, which features everything from liver mousse cakes to doggy jogging outfits. The owner of famous Fido's Doggy Deli is Gloria Listener, who is here today to show us some of the fabulous things available for dog pampering these days. Lovers just love to talk about their pets, so we brought some Chicago pet owners together to do just that. Chicago actress Eileen Robertson, who is currently starring in Dear Amanda, is devoted to her cat Susie, who has been with her for how long? For 10 years?
10 years.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And Tommy Edwards is here not with his pet because he doesn't have a pet. He is so busy covering pet news. But we hope he's brought along some of his famous animal stories that he does along with Larry Lujak on WLS Radio. And last but certainly not least, we have Bob Djahanguiri, who is a Chicago restaurateur. He owns Yvette's, Turbo, and Toulouse. And he also owns Max. He doesn't look real excited to be here. Why am I here? And Max is all dressed up in his tuxedo, which, as I understand, he sometimes wears down to the bar at one of his owner's restaurants. Max looks like he doesn't like to be up this early in the morning. Is this a problem, Bob?
Yes, Max will stay awake in the late night, and Max likes he's just specialty of each restaurant. He likes tartare from Toulouse.
Oh, does Max live on steak tartare from Toulouse?
Yes.
Now that's even better than the Doggy Deli. Not bad at all. So he keeps night hours as befitting a dog who hangs out in fancy restaurants. Not bad. Tell me, Eileen, how did you get Susie?
Susie was a stray that showed up at my front door one day.
Had you been looking for a cat?
No. In fact, we had another cat at the time, and this one showed up.
Was there any doubt in your mind as to whether or not you were going to take her in?
But no, it was, I had never been a big fan of cats until I got my own. She's more like a dog. She follows you around, and she lets me know when she wants to eat. She talks to me. She probably won't talk now.
Does
but
she talk?
She talks.
Susie, see if you'll talk for us.
Suze?
Oh, Max,
I don't know if you want to talk.
Max wants
Don't
to
look
make a
at that.
speech over there. He has a lot to say. Max!
What
Max!
do you say, Max? He's singing now. Maxie?
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Gonna be all right?
Now, is Max talking? Does he do that all the time?
Once in a while, when we're going out, he's complaining.
Oh, he's complaining? Is that what he's saying?
Sometimes he's real mad when I come home late.
Oh, he lets you know.
Yes, he let me know all that.
Tommy, he doesn't look like he likes you very much.
Well,
I don't want to worry you, but
I'm kind of in this DMZ
right.
between
You
the dogs.
are the DMZ.
Yeah.
You are it. We planned it that way. In fact, in case they didn't get along, we thought that you could keep them apart. Tommy, what is the most outlandish thing out of all the animal stories you and Larry have shared that you've ever heard about an animal?
Probably, and maybe some people have heard about this before because we're asked that question often, but it's probably Mike the Headless Rooster. It was one of the original ones we had. This really wasn't a pet, but it was a farmer had gone out to the chopping block with Mike, and it was his turn. And if you've ever lived on a farm, it's not really the prettiest sight to see, but the farmer took the axe and beheaded Mike. And most chickens, you just let them down on the ground, and you jump around, and pretty soon they die. Mike just stood there and walked off. And apparently they had taken most of the brain except for one strategic part at the back, and Mike just walked right back to the chicken coop. So the farmer felt sorry for him and left him alone, let him live. And he led a somewhat productive life. They had to feed him through like a little eyedropper down the esophagus, and he mated with some of the hens, and
He couldn't see where he was going,
no,
did he?
well, he was okay in the dark.
Huh? That's outrageous. How long did he live?
I think he lived a normal life, and he probably died about 4 or 5 years later. But we've had, I saw some of the earlier segments you had on this, and we had a story about a puppy pop and pussycat pop. And they come in 6-packs, and you buy them and you pour them in the dish for your dog or your cat. And there's a place in France now that's selling gourmet dinners for dogs. I think they go up to $15. They are served on real china. They have cocktails for dogs, non-alcoholic.
Max wants
Maybe
one of
we
those
can get one of
cocktails
those.
right away. He says, get me a martini quick on the rocks. We'll be right back in just a moment with more of our friends here.
It's on.
Bob Djahanguiri owns restaurants like Yvette, Turbo, and Toulouse, and so Max, I am not surprised to hear, does not indulge in dog food. Perish the thought, Max, right? What does Max eat?
Max eat fish, pate. His favorite is steak tartare. But also, Max doesn't eat doggy food.
Doesn't eat any dog food at all?
Just, he likes a filet mignon, medium rare. He likes on that. Then Max is also is good for me, just kind of saving money for psychologists. He's really pretty good.
I was going to say, don't you think Max is a little bit pampered here? Let's talk about how Max is spoiled here.
It is he is really spoiled.
He is spoiled. I have some pictures here I just want to show. They'll give you an idea, if you didn't get the drift already, about Max's lifestyle and how he lives. This one here shows how Max travels. It looks like a little Gucci bag he has that he's carried around in. And he wears the sunglasses, of course. Because he travels everywhere with you, I assume.
Are those prescription lenses?
He has a summer suit and a beach outfit. Has a chef outfit.
And here he is with a movie star, with Snoopy, his very own movie star that he has. Now, Bob, what do you say? I mean, people will say, hey, this is ridiculous. I mean, come on, this is a dog, and why are you doing all this?
Oh, don't get him.
He already complained.
He's very annoyed I brought that up.
But really, it doesn't matter. If you love someone, it doesn't matter. It's a dog or human being. But the relation between me and Max is very kind of psychologist and human being. He's a very good therapy for me. When I go home and he's waiting for me and just hugging him and having him on my arm is really just makes me a real calm after big stress on a day or so.
Have you always been a dog lover? Have you always had a dog, or
Yes.
is Max the only one?
No,
There's been a whole string of Maxes in your life.
No, I always had dogs when I was a kid.
And have you always treated them like this?
Yes, I did my best.
Well, I think Max is onto a good thing there. And he knows it, too. He really does.
You know, Dory, I think a lot of people would probably agree, a lot of scientists would agree that it's a love thing for pets. It's a great release for people to have a pet like this, to show a great deal of love if they perhaps don't have any children, or just a good companion because they're always agreeable and like, for example, you've got some goats that you haven't mentioned here, right?
Yes, I do. I have 3 goats who are pets. They live on our farm, and they're wonderful. They aren't quite as pampered as Max, I hasten to tell you. They live on, their idea of a rip-roaring time is when they get some oats. I mean, that's a big deal for them. But they're fun. I think pets are absolutely wonderful. I have a dog and a cat, and we have the goats. We have a peacock who's not exactly cuddly, but he has his own little personality, does his own thing.
I think I got a great idea for Max in a talk show. I think Max could get his own show here.
You know, they have the doggy deli for dogs. Why not have a dog talk show? You're right.
He could do the commercials for the deli, too.
I'm thinking of sometime in future, maybe after they design a new equipment, I may open a small restaurant for dogs.
Oh, really? Are you
Yes,
thinking
really,
about
I'm
doing
thinking about that. If we're just putting it together, maybe someday people of Chicago, like Paris, they can take a dog to the restaurant or so.
Well, we had Gloria Listener here earlier with her doggy deli.
Yeah.
Would yours be different? Would be more formal than a deli? Something a little
I would say
fancier,
more gourmet.
more gourmet.
Do you have matching outfits like the people earlier had matching jogging suits?
No, Max has a different, his mother buy a different kind of outfit.
Well, Max has his own wardrobe. He doesn't like to copy anybody at all. Well, Max is, you know, I have to ask you about his health. It seems that if you feed a dog all that fancy, rich food, somebody might worry about his health. Is he healthy?
Yes, he's in diet. We don't give him everything. He goes see his doctor once a month, and then he advises us what to give him.
So he's not just rolling around in pate day and night, 24 hours a day. I'm kind of relieved to hear that. I thank all of you, especially Susie and Max, for being with us. It was very nice to have you here. Tommy Edwards, who does Animal Stories with Larry Lujak. You who are starring in Dear Amanda. Thank you. Say that again. And thank you very much, Bob, all of you. Thank you. This is